the ED at NRG Radio. It's a youth station. My doctorate is strategic management. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Timothy Nyangweso. I work with UBC.
Good morning, everyone. I'm called Shafiq Mukulu. I'm chairman Ghetto is Yellow.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Styles Exclusive. Sean Ibrahim Sengendo, CEO, Sean Styles Exclusive. Thank you.
Hi everyone. This is Kasuko from Kasuko Media Limited.
Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I work with Fly Express Fly Express Travelers in Entebbe. I'm so pleased to be here.
Good morning, media. Good morning, media. My name is Dan.
We have a little bit of time.
Good morning. My name is Don Wanyama. I'm the CEO of Vision Group. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Simon Kaheru from the East African Business Council. The beard shouldn't deceive you. I'm also a Muzukulu.
Good morning. My name is Marcela Kareche. I head the Government Citizen Interaction Center.
Good morning once again. My name is Sande Olusimbi, Senior Press Secretary to HE, the President.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Kamporo Ronoman, Private Secretary, Political Mobilization and Online Mobilization State House. I also have an app called What's Down. If you have been seeing What's Down, it's me. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sambe Emmanuel, CEO, MR256 TikTok account.
Happy New Year, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mugabe Edrin. I work with UBC TV as a digital specialist. I manage UBC social media.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Shaida TV.
Good morning, Jethro Kaseiji, UBC, a presenter.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Denzel. I'm a radio presenter on XFM under the New Vision and just a content creator as well.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Protocol observed. My name is Sovereign Hassasha from here. Thank you.
I'm Sevenist and Mohosist. Thank you.
My name is Akabwait Mukunde. I'm a communications officer at the NRM Secretariat.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Razia Athman. I'm a multimedia producer at Vision Group and podcaster there. I'm also the founder of Uganda Reading.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ismail Msuga. I'm a journalist working with the Vukede TV and the Vision Group. Thank you.
Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Sarah Navakosa. I'm a journalist. With a New Vision. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we'll stop there.
Good morning, Mzee. Thank you so much, Mzee, for giving us this time. We know that it's a very busy time, and today you still have more programs. This is my first time really moderating, so I need prayers. So here before you are a few of your young supporters, some who are not so young, like myself, and I see some friends over there. And also media houses to capture your interaction with us. Oh yes, I was saying, however, online in the field, there are many, many more of your supporters who would very much want another such interaction. There are so many people who would have wished to be here today, but because we kind of organized it quickly, we didn't manage to call as many as we would because you have a big following and a lot of support online. So, Mzee, my first, what I would want to ask you before you even welcome us is, would it be possible to have another such interaction with the young people and the online groups in the near future?
So. I'm dying to defog their minds, because there's a lot of fog in the world. So I don't mind defogging them, removing the fog.
Wonderful. So we can
anytime.
Yay. So to everybody who has been not very happy with me for not that we couldn't all fit here, let's all at least take comfort knowing that very soon, by God's grace, we will have another such, maybe on a bigger scale, interaction with the young people, because the questions are many and always seeking advice. Thank you for hosting us or allowing us to come here today, Mzee. So today we just have a few questions that we're going to ask. We have a number, but we'll all ask one, and if you still have time, we might come around to asking a second question. The first question will come from Christine Mawadri.
Thank you very much, Natasha. Your Excellency, it's a great pleasure to have this opportunity to interact with you. My name is Christine Mawadri. First of all, I must thank you for spearheading the opening up of the FM stations way back in 1994. At the time, I was a very young person, and I was there to experience you actually opening one of the FM stations and private TV stations, which was Sanyo FM. 30 years later, I'm here now. And currently, I work with NRG Radio, which is a youth-centric station. It's not a radio. It's actually an experience where we put all the three facets of the Gen Zs in one place in order to reach them and understand them. So my question to you today is, Your Excellency, the creative sector is broad, and yet most times it is only the musicians, content creators who are considered as a whole sector. However, skills like IT, fashion design, baristas, chefs, artisanal arts, and the like, basically innovators and creators around the service industry, and we're talking about the young men and young women who are happy to be waiters, valets, and all these create jobs, are also part of the creatives. We're also talking about those who want to go into holistic health, like the masseurs, those who are into herbal medicine, and the like. Can the government have a deliberate effort to support local innovation so that we don't import these skills? Because we actually have passionate people and innovators who can do these jobs. Can there be a ministry for just innovation and the creative sector, sir? That's my question. Thank you.
You said you must know where you are coming from. This land here is populated by us, the Bantus of the lakes, then our Nilotics, and some other groups from, like the Rugbara from Central Africa, then the Karamojong, Ateso. We are people of this area who had a lot of problems in the past with we had a period of peace between 900 and 1400 AD under the Bachwezi. But when the Bachwezi kingdom collapsed, these new smaller kingdoms came up: Bunyoro, Buganda, Ankole, Rwanda, and they were busy causing war among us for almost like 400 years, from 1400 until the British came and captured them like grasshoppers. Then when the British captured our area, although the governance of the kings was poor, but the population was very strong. We belong to very strong populations, mainly around the Myoga. This word which I brought to you, that word which I resurrected for you, means skills. The skills you are talking about. Some of them you are talking about them. Omoga. Omoga is one, Myoga is many. Now, before the Europeans came, everybody had Omoga. You had cattle keepers, you had cultivators, you had Abahesi, blacksmith, you had Abanogozi, the ones who use clay, you had Abawaizi. I'm using the Runyankore, you can put your own local variation. Abawaizi, the woodworkers. You had Abatanaji, the ones who were making bows and arrows. You had even surgeons, Abajenji. That's what they are called in Nyankweri. Surgeons, Abajenji. You had Ababunji, the bone setters. All these were skills in the society. Now, when the Europeans captured our inefficient kings and us, they killed all these skills. And they brought a colonial economy, very narrow money economy. Or by the end of the colonial period, it was called the small economy of the 3 C's and the 3 T's. The 3 C's being copper, coffee, and cotton. And the 3 T's being tobacco, tea, and tourism. This was accounting for only, I think, 9% of the population. So you had that. In those days, we were calling it enclave economy, meaning a small island of modernity surrounded by a sea of backwardness. More than 90% of the people were living outside the money economy, where the original Myoga had been killed. Because the original Myoga had been killed by European imports. Instead of making the plates here, you are now importing them. The cups, the what, the saucepans, the containers, the chairs, everything was being imported. So therefore, that's how they brought their own economy of the 3 C's and the 3 T's by the end of the colonial time. So we went on like that for the few years of independence until Idi Amin came. Now when Idi Amin came, he killed the small colonial economy of the 3 C's. Out of the 3 C's, only coffee kept on. Cotton collapsed, copper collapsed. The 3 T's, everything collapsed except tobacco. So when NRM comes in, this is what we find. So therefore, as I've been telling you, we're being systematic. Our phase one was minimum economic recovery. Bring back the small island of the 3 Cs and 3 Ts, if you can. Bring it back. This is phase one. Phase two, expand it. More coffee, more tea, more this and that and that. Number 3, phase 3, diversify. Bring more products into the money economy. Because in the colonial times, they would talk of cash crops and food crops. Bananas were not a cash crop. They were for just eating. And yet for them, they were exporting bananas from, they were making money out of bananas, but they were telling us money. Bananas are not for money, they are for just eating. Maize was for eating. Milk, mere cattle people, you can imagine, they were saying milk was not a cash product. So the third phase of our recovery was to put into the money economy products which were previously regarded as just for food or for subsistence use. Even woodwork, even carpentry and all that. Now, phase 4 is value addition. Add value to some of those products. And now phase 5, where we have now entered, is the knowledge economy, the automobiles and so on and so forth. So, when we were doing those minimum recovery efforts, we knew, for instance, even if you take sports, why have we only built Nambore as a national stadium and repaired Nachivubo, and recently we had to build Hoima under pressure because of AFCON? Is it because I'm a footballer myself? Is it because we didn't know that football was important or sports? No, we knew, but we had so many things to start with, which if you start with, will enable you to do other things. Like that minimum recovery I've told you, the 5 phases. Then you come to security, defense, keep the country safe. So the money you have, you put quite a bit of it there. Then electricity. Then the roads. So that when you deal with those, then you can now add on. So we shall add on all those you are talking about. We are aware, as I have told you, even sports, we are not really concentrated on it. When you see these talents who are coming up, the runners in Kapchorwa, it's mainly because of peace. Peace and this education, UPE. Children come from the villages. They are not so much really supported, but they come up because of the other little progress in peace and education, the school. That's how we come to notice them. But we have not really gone out yet fully. The emphasis has been more on agriculture, manufacturing, those basics, so that we have the base, then from the base you can, because all those skills need food. You can't dance and do all those things you are doing, dance pakachini and all this one, when you don't have food. So we had to get you food first, then soap to wash, because there was even no soap, then the basics. Yeah. But now we have gone to phase 5 of the knowledge economy. So the more the economy expands, and transforms, because we are doing two things, expansion, diversification, but also transformation into knowledge economy, for instance. The vehicles, I don't know whether they can, the Kira Motors, all these computers, it will come, the time is coming for you people, the creative people, so that the country pays more attention to you because you have the basics. Uganda is very rich. We are not like other countries. Because if you look at the countries you like so much, like Japan, they are very limited. They don't have capacity for agriculture. They don't even have raw materials for manufacturing. Everything they import. The only thing they have is the human resource, the brains of the people. To use the natural resources of the ones who are asleep, like the Africans, because the Africans are asleep. So if they are asleep, you who is awake, you use their natural resources to make products which the sleepers buy from you. So they're just clever people. Otherwise, you cannot compare Uganda with any of those countries, with Japan or South Korea or any of them. For us, we have got even Germany. The only countries which are like us would be like the United States, India, some few other countries who have everything like us. For us, we have got everything. Agriculture, minerals, forest products, the human resource. The only thing we lack, which you don't talk about, the Mawadris, you're always talking about all irrelevant things, is to understand the importance of the market. The market. When you have products, where do you sell them? It's amazing to find that you, the young people, you don't talk about the East African market and the African market. If you don't have that, how will you grow? How? Where will you sell your product? Talking about nothing, small things here, small. Very dangerous. When I was your age, I was talking about the market. We were talking about the East African Federation. For you are talking about, I don't know what you are talking about. Dancing and football. Yes, those are pleasure, but you must have the basics first. So we have not forgotten it is coming, to answer your question. You are the ones who invited me. You are the one who invited me. When you do so at your own risk. I can talk for ages once you give me opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mzee. I'm sure Christine had another question, but let's first give others a chance. So the next will be Osman Kawesa, billionaire. These are some of your supporters, one of your big supporters.
Abaana abo tebanawuliriza bulungi okuwabula kwaffe kubanga emirimu gisangibwa mu bubondo obubondo kigambo kya Luganda meaning sector obugaga n'emirimu bisangibwa mu bubondo buna akabondo k'okulima n'okulunda n'okuvuba mu ngeri ekola ssente ate n'okozesa ekibalo. Nabalagako wano omusajja gwe beeta Nyakaana mbadde mbalaga ku ntimbi zange bwe mba ndi mu nkungaana ez'olujjudde. Nyakaana alina yekazi alina eka emu n'obutundu 3 by'ettaka naye kati alundirawo ente z'omu kiyumba z'amata n'alunda n'enkoko z'amagi ate n'akolerako n'ebintu ebirala. Bw'otwala amagi gokka atunda tray z'amagi 120 buli lunaku. Buli lunaku omumagi gokka n'afiisawo 3,000 bw'ajjako zakozeseza. Kati 3,000 ze $9,000,000 mu mwezi. Amagoba ensaasaanyi kati ezo ze $1,800,000 omwaka magoba. Kati amata atunda wadde akoledde awafunda naye ajja mu litres 12 buli lunaku. N'ajjamu amagoba ndowooza 6,000 buli lunaku. Ze $1,000,000 omwezi. Omwaka ze $2,000,000 amagoba. Ate alina ebirala akola ekigimusa n'ebirala byayongerako byonna mu yiika emu n'obutundu 3. Kati Uganda erina yiikazi 40,000,000 za agriculture. Ebyo byonna temubimanyi kubanga muri Dubai eyo gye mwenjeera eyo. Naye kati Nyakaana akozesa abantu 15. Ebyo byakola bizadde emirimu y'abantu 15 mu wiiki emu bakozesa n'abasasula. Kati nakibalamu nti ne bwe watutute ekazi 4,000,000 gonna ne bwe ofunayo ekazi 7,000,000 zokka ne bakola nga Nyakaana bwe yakola. You are going to create ogenda kukola emirimu 15 million obukadde. Ekitegeeza nti ogenda kufuna emirimu egisinga n'abantu abali mu Uganda wano. N'abanoonyi b'obubundamu bagenda kufuna emirimu ate ne tusaka abakozi okuva ebweru. Naye kubanga ebiriwo ababikozesa batono, waliwo keesi ya Basangwa mbadde njiraga ku TV wano. Basangwa ali Kamuli namusangayo bwe nali mu mwaka 2007 bali barwanira wa LC5 chairperson bangi bona bagala kutingana. Naye bwe nagendeyo ne mbagamba nti naye lwaki temukola birala? Ne mbagamba bino bye mbagamba. Twabagamba mu kalulu ka 96 twaba obula agriculture yokka ebirala bireke agriculture yokka bw'oba olina eka 4 teekamu eka 1 y'emmwanyi eka y'ebibala omuddo gw'ente z'amata z'omu kiyumba ebintu biringa nga 7 okoleko ebimu oba byonna mu eka 4 olesi kati bwe nasanga bagala kutingana ku lw'akalimo ka LC5 ne mbawabula bannange mwonoona budde mukole ebirala muve ku bwa chairperson bwa LC5 yanajjamu okulunda enkoko z'amagi kati buli lunaku afulumya trays z'amagi 25,000 buli lunaku ali wali kamuli mugendeyo mulabe buli lunaku trays z'amagi 25,000 buli lunaku ayingiza $2,000,000 ali wali tali Dubai ali wano muyinza kuwaaba nemugenda America nemunoonya basangwa kubanga mulidi nti ayingiza sente nyingi naye ali wano kamuli buli lunaku ayingiza $2,000,000 ze $6,000,000 omwezi bwe buwumbi 7 mu obukadde 2,000 omwaka ali wali kati eyali anoonya akalimo ka LC5 kati akozesa abantu 3,000 yefunira omulimu ogugwe ate ebugagga bwe nebuzaala emirimu 3,000 bakozesa mugendeyo mbalaba bona byengamba so emirimu giri wano gifattulo naye mwe you are disoriented abazungu babayingizamu obutalengera ensonga ebatwala eyo gye mugenda
I think, okay, I think what he's...
No, so that is now agriculture.
Okay.
If you now go to manufacturing, eyo mirimu nayo weeri. Then services. Oluzagamba, you can see border, abana bali mu border. That is now services. Then the ICT. So emirimu ejjudde potential eriwo naye timugiraba mugireka wano ne mugenda kukola emirimu y'obuddu mu Buwarabu. Okay.
Next question is from Dada Yenyini. I don't know if that's what, I don't know what your actual name is. Can you introduce yourself?
Structures zino zibayambye nnyo okuva mu mbeera gye baalimu ebyalwi nti bannabyabufuzi baalinga babakozesa okwekalakaasa nga babagulira enjaga n'okubawa buwalagi ne babagamba mugende mukume ebipiira ku makubo mwokye enguudo. Essaawa eno tekikyaliwo era ndowooza olaba emyaka 5 giweddeko teri mwana wa geto yeekalakaasa. Pulezidenti, ekibuuzo kyange ogenda kukuuma otya embeera eno oba okwongera otya abaana bano essente ez'okwekulaakulanya n'okubongera emisomo? Ekirala waliwo getozi okwetoolola Kampala mu cities endala ezitali Kampala, zo olina nteekateeka ki egenda ozituukamu? Neyanziza Pulezidenti.
Zonna tugenda kubanga eno PDM gye twatandika emyoga youth fund ensawo ezo zonna zaali za kugeza okulaba ekikola n'ekitakola. PDM egenda kukola bulungi ekyalinamu ebizibu bitonotono naye egenda kukola bulungi kubanga bananyini kintu be bagirimu abanaku wadde bakyabuzibwamu oluusi tebajja mu lukiiko olujjudde general meeting okulonda akakiiko ka saako akafuga saako oluusi tebajja niwajja batono nibeerondamu bokka naye ekyo mwena bwe mukyogerako nemugamba nti olukiiko lwa general meeting ya saako lulina okubeerawo nnaku bwezitiini buli muntu yena n'amanya kigenda kukola kubanga eri emabega nali nsindika sente za NADS operation wealth creation naye nziyisa mu bakozi ba gavumenti. Kati abakozi ba gavumenti abo nagenda kuwulira abantu eri wansi bagamba nti beegabira bokka nengamba nti oba beegabira bokka kati esente zino mwekoleko mmwe. Buli muntu yena omukulu mumuluka ayingire mu saako bw'aba yagadde w'emyaka 18 okudda waggulu. Kati abo be balonda akakiiko akanaddukanya saako y'omuluka naye tebanakikola bulungi kikyabulabulamu but they will learn. So n'abageto nabo tulina okubategeka bitundu byabwe kubanga bw'okwataganya ensawo n'ekitundu kyanguko nga kati omuluka emiruka gimanyiddwa buli omu alina omuluka gy'ava, so it is easier to check than when it is vague. Kiri eyo district wala. So we are now going to organize the ghettos in a way which is easy to monitor. And we shall put money, like we have done for the PDM, we shall put different money for all those groups. Even the churches, we shall give them money in their dioceses. The ghettos, the ones of Jinja, Mbade, Mbarara, all of them we shall support them.
Thank you, Mzee.
Kubanga sente ezo amagoba gali wansi bwe tukweleza akakadde oluvannyuma y'omwaka okomyewo akakadde n'emitwalo 6. Kati boogeraganya na money lenders babadde bakuwa akakadde oluvannyuma lw'omwaka n'okomyewo miliyoni nga 6 kumpi. Banyunyusi n'olwekyo enenkola egenda kukola naye mulina okwongerako okulonda ababaka abalumirwa ensonga zammwe kubanga bano abagezigezi oluusi bagezako kubanga sente zino nnungi banakigwanyizi abamu bagala kuzitwala bazikozese bakola ebyabwe. Kati mmwe mulina okuzirwanako ate nemukolagana n'abakulembeze abalumirwa ebyammwe be muba mulonda si bano abagenda kukola ebyabwe.
Thank you, Mzee. The next question is by me. A small little clip on the screen, so maybe you can organize that quickly. Precious? Yeah.
Monsieur Gamba bingi.
Amazina ganje mbanyeta Kampura Everest kurga Homa Takadarieva Town Council Mahane Village Kamwenge District kaba ninshoma kaba nahika mu senior 1 akafizi kaburaburamo mbazire habw'ensonga y'obworo kunabe nashitamaho obwire bukyenda kwega nfuna omugisha gw'okugira ngende kushomera busha kyenjojo kijwiga skilling center ndayo nshoma amezi 6 ngashomayo skill 2 mindset change na welding and metal fabrication kunabe nargayo ndiaho mutawuni nobo takifitinga amaboko hano izo yindikire mfuna omugisha ntandika kukorana na custom engineering during the construction of Katarieba Central Market nkora nabo saving obusente bwanje mpora
ni wayabo
custom engineering
ni bantu kyabo.
The company is from Toro.
Nibakora kyo
they constructed constructing a Katari Central Market ya Katarieba.
Okay.
Ati kuna obusente obuna savingire nagura mu mashini kumara ntandikiraho nkora mpora
They wanted to switch to, can we do it quickly? Is it possible? Did you want to take off the, then my question is, I was showing you that skilling clip to say that for me, while I was with you on the trail, I noticed that many of the young people kept saying that one of the things that they really picked up from the 6 months they went to the skilling hub, those regional skilling hubs, they would get a skill like, say, welding, like that boy, and then they talk about I can keep going? So then, hello? Then my question is that it seems that the mindset class is very transformative in the lives of those young people. And I wanted to ask that our mindset as Africans, is it a hindrance to us as Ugandans and as Africans? And what can we do about it?
Of course, that's what I was telling you. Those children in their local language say, mindset. They don't even finish the whole sentence. They say, nasoma, bwetwaliyo, nasoma, na okutunga, ate nensoma na mindset. They don't even finish the whole sentence. But what they mean, mindset change, which is taught by our UPDF officers who come there and show them you. Because that's what the other Kawes, was he called Kawes? The one who was saying that, why do we go to the Arab countries to look for jobs when they are here? It is a mindset problem. Mindset meaning you don't have the spectacles to see what is available for you. And that's what they are talking about.
Okay. But what can we, how?
And that's what we were struggling with in the 1960s. That was part of the problem. And mindset, like for instance, when NRM came from the bush, the 10 points program, point number 5 was talking of the building an economy which is independent, integrated, and self-sustaining. And it is that effort, which is not fully implemented, just partially, that has made Uganda to succeed. The other day, during the New Year's speech, I told you that now our export earnings are more than our import bill by more than $2 billion. We've got a surplus on the I think they call it current account, or I don't they call it. So this is because of that value addition. The shirt I'm putting on is from Ugandan cotton. But in the past, this was being made in, I don't know where. But we had to insist and insist until there was food integration through these a few companies like, what is it called, the one?
Fine spinners?
Fine spinners, and then native. Now, this is the crisis in Africa. Even coffee, we're still exporting unprocessed coffee. We are struggling to add value to it. And when you export unprocessed coffee, you get $2.5 per kilo. A very good coffee called Screen 18. But when you add value, you can go up to $40 per kilo. That's how the coffee business in the world is $460 billion. But the coffee producing countries of the whole world, including Uganda, take only 25 billion out of the 460 billion. A country like Germany, which has no coffee, earns $65 billion from coffee by using of the sleeping people. In Hamburg, you have got all the coffee processing there in Hamburg. Germany earns more from coffee than all the coffee producing countries of the world. So this is the mindset. This is the mindset change we are struggling with at the local level, at the individual people's level.
Is there a way that we can all, that more of our young people can access?
It can be in the school system. In the school system, they are beginning to introduce it, the new syllabus. Because the new syllabus was talking about skills. To go back to our tradition, the yoga.
Okay.
For instance, when you get a degree in what? No. What? Somebody even gets PhD. If the conflicts are not there, what will you do? So you can find the educational system had been derailed really it is as if it was deliberate to make Africa import dependent. Import everything. Even food. The new curriculum, which we worked out, is attempting to send back people to skills. Me, I'm a man of. He was looking this way, and he said this. Okay, thank you very much. Reorient us, which are reoriented us, and that's how we manage it, and then others can also join us.
Thank you, Museveni. Self-sufficient thinking, maybe.
Yes.
Perhaps. Our next question is from Isaac Katende, popularly known as, that's you, right? Yes. Please introduce yourself.
Hello? Yes. Natasha, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Good morning, His Excellency.
Morning, Katende.
How are you doing, sir?
Very well.
I can see things seem to be going well for you. Now, just a minute, Madam Natasha, I just want to borrow just 2 minutes before I ask my question. I hope the camera is getting me well. Okay, so we are live on Kasuku Live, and I want to tell all my followers out there that welcome to the presidential edition of Kasuku Live. We came and finally we get to ask the big man our questions. So before I go any further, I would want to first shout out to my people out there. My Jaja is watching alongside my son. Namba tumiddeko bannaye gye muli eyo mugamba mutya. Zubeda wangambye omukulu be mutuukako nkwogereko. Ogamba otya Shalom, Frank Ntambi, nammwe mwenna abali eyo. Kansuubire nti muli bulungi. So the question I have is about digital media, Your Excellency. Today I don't want to brag, but I'm one of the biggest YouTubers in this country. In real time here, we had over 10,000 people before we went off that we are watching on Kasuku Live. So that means it is something very big. For the youth, we are making money off these platforms. Like you can see, Natasha is here with her phone and a stand. And today you're talking to over 2 million, 3 million, 5 million Ugandans with all of us combined. But we have not yet seen government involvement in supporting us. We are not talking of supporting us in terms of giving us money because we are making the money. Of course, courtesy of the environment the government has placed for us to be able to work. But we are seeing issues like the cost of internet is high. We are seeing platforms like YouTube being shut down. A very good example I'll give you. Today we have people on TikTok, like all of these. If you ask these people where they were 3 years ago, they were putting on suits, going to offices to ask for jobs. Today they will tell you they are able to make 3 million shillings a month and they feed their families. So we are trying to find out how do we get the government to support the digital space? How do we get government to enhance, to understand from the things you've been explaining to us, farming and all of this, the digital space brings us closer. It connects us, the farmers, the manufacturers, but we are not seeing government coming up to tell us or even to understand what the digital space is. Of course, people talk about digital this, digital that, but we have not yet seen someone who has come up to grasp it. Where Natasha is trying, you can see, she's putting up these engagements for us, to come and talk to you. But we want the technocrats, we want you to understand that even if we are not farming, but we can use this digital space because it has so many apps like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. People are selling items there, people are creating content on there, and they are making money, they are very okay. However, what we have received now, we see government coming up, shutting down Facebook. Some government officials are telling us we shall lock down TikTok, all those things. And then we are wondering, if this is trying to solve the issue of unemployment, how come nobody is trying to come closer to us to understand how this works and to see how they can help us? I
can see that Katende lives in Jerusalem, but doesn't know what is happening there. I was the first follower of that capacity of the digital. Because previously we were depending on satellite. Satellite, people who were communicating by radio, by digital, electronic, we are doing so through satellite. The physics of that, line of sight, that's the physics of enhanced. But it was very expensive. I don't have the details here. There was so many dollars per megabyte or so. There's something there, the way they calculate it. Is it megabyte or what? The cost. Per what? It was a lot of money. So Kachendi didn't know that I'm the one who worked very hard to bring the backbone in his house. But me, I was not, because the undersea cable from Asia was passing through the port near, through Eden. It was passing through Eden to the Red Sea and going to Europe. And then another undersea cable was passing from Cape Town, Atlantic. So there was a gap between Eden and South Africa, which we worked with so many people. There's now undersea cable to Mombasa, to Dar es Salaam, and then underground cable from there to here now, from Mombasa and from Dar es Salaam. And that's how the cost came down. The cost, you can get the figures how it came down from so much by satellite to so much now. It is much now. There was we had put a tax. I don't remember. I think that's what you should discuss. If the technology now is there, because the underground cable is there, and it is being sent to all parts of the country. You can check. I think even Arua now may already be having the underground cable. That's the infrastructure which is crucial. Now, if there are any other little issues like tax or what, that can be looked at. But the infrastructure, we foresaw that and we put it there. Now, there were attempts by the telephone companies to monopolize, but we said no. Electricity, the railway, and the internet backbone, they call it internet backbone, must be owned by the government, so that we are not there to make profit. We are there to facilitate business, as we are saying. Now, closing Facebook, yes, we closed it. I closed it, Facebook. Nilifunga. Because they were idiots. They thought they could insult us, play around with us, and we would not close them. We closed them. And I waited for the cows not to go to graze. The cows are going to graze. Fishermen are fishing. Uganda is continuing. We closed it like 5 years ago. Forgot about it. So we want to put discipline among them. There's no other issue. Otherwise, if they behave well, we shall open them up. We have no problem. The only thing there would have to be tax. Why the cost? I will check. Why the cost is not even lower Does anybody here know? Wanyama, would you know? We shall find out and let you know why it is not even lower. Now, recently, I have been in talk with Elon Musk. He has been telling me that his satellite, it's called Starlink, that when I allow him to come here, although it is satellite, because satellite was expensive, that's why we migrated from satellite to underground cable. But Elon Musk has been telling me that no, satellite is now cheaper. They call it last what? When they go to the last person. Huh? Last mile. There's also something about, they say there about the person, the customer. Direct to the customer. So we are studying that. We shall, if it is true, we shall allow Elon Musk to bring his satellites here. If they can make that digital connection cheaper than the underground, then we shall. I became aware of this long before Katende was born. When were you born? When were you born?
I was born 6 years after you came.
At that time, when because
no, 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
1990?
Yes.
Yeah, because when I visited China, 89, that's when I negotiated with what was the company? The one which did the internet? Huawei. That's when I negotiated with Huawei. So we were aware of all of that.
Let's first get some others and then we can come back, okay? Thank you so much. Kasuku is a big internet personality. Mzee, I'm saying Katende is a big internet, these are big internet personalities, all of them you see here.
Mm-hmm.
They have very interesting.
I'm very lucky to be
yes, indeed.
In the presence of such powerful people.
Yeah. Our next question will be from Mr. Simon Kaheru.
Thank you, Natasha. Your Excellency, first of all, thank you for having us and giving us all this time. My question is pretty simple, and you've already started touching on it. I'm here on behalf of the East African Business Council, so my focus is private sector and regional. And I'm interested in you giving the young people a message around the NRM ideology being built on Pan-Africanism and your consistent championing of regional integration for economic reasons. Even today, you have spoken about it. But many of these young people, not only the ones in the room, but even the ones out there, do not make the link between regional integration, the production that has increased with Ugandans coming into the money economy, and the opportunities, direct and indirect, that they can receive. So we'd be happy for you to give them a detailed message around those opportunities. Thank you, Excellency.
This is where the Africans are in big danger if you don't wake up, your generation. Because there are two issues. Prosperity. Where does prosperity come from? Prosperity comes from a wealth creator like myself. Me, I'm a wealth creator. I'm not a parasite. I'm a cattle keeper. And I'm a grower of bananas. But when I grow bananas and I keep cows and produce milk and produce beef, the Banyankore don't buy from me. Why? Because the Banyankore also have their own milk, their own beef. They don't buy from me. The ones who buy from me are the people of Kampala. So that's why me, I am a lover of Uganda. because Uganda is the one which is crucial for my prosperity. You can see my cows there. And Tezobu Jaja, but study. Now, they are the ones who buy my milk, who buy Uganda, Kampala, are the ones who buy my beef, who buy my milk, who buy my bananas. And that's why I say patriotism. Love Uganda. Other people say love Ankole, love Buganda. I say, yes, I love those, but Uganda is, I need it more than any of them. Because it's the one which will support my prosperity more. But then, because I'm a big producer, and other people are producing a lot, we have now discovered that Uganda is not enough to absorb our products. We need East Africa. We need Africa. So that's why we say patriotism, add on Pan-Africanism. You must love Africa for your own good. You must love Uganda for your own good. So when I see people talking about all sorts of things, but we're not talking about that, I feel sorry, very sorry, and very concerned about you people. By that time, I will be in heaven with Ibrahim. We shall be sitting in heaven there. And you will be suffering here. Like Latin America, you can see Latin America is happening. Why is Latin America miserable? And yet, in terms of natural resources, it's actually much richer than the United States. If you look at the water, you look at the minerals, you look at the forests, Latin America is richer than the United States. Why should the United States be more prosperous than Latin America? Because of that difference of integration. When the American colonists separated from England, they formed the nucleus of the United States. The 13 colonies, they formed the nucleus, then they have been adding on. That's why in America you can easily succeed if you are a businessman. Because if you are in New York, you produce a product, you can sell it all the way up to California. 300 million people. Now in Latin America, you are in Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, you are here. If you produce a product, you can't. How would you succeed? Here in Africa, if I produce a product to go to here, I must negotiate. To go there, I must negotiate. That's why we had to try and revive this African community. Now, but there's also the issue of strategic security. That's why for us we support the Federation of East Africa. Because as we speak today, the Americans are on the moon. The Chinese are on the moon. The Russians are on the moon. The Indians have gone to the moon. You fellows, you are here. We are here on Earth, here. The Europeans are looking at us from space like they are seeing us, we don't see them. This is very dangerous. And you have all these Katendes, all these fellows, influencers. What are you influencing? Why don't you say, you people, you are in danger? People are on the moon, we are here. They are seeing us, we don't see them. But can Uganda and the Americans, they have been saying so openly, they say for them, they want to be superior in land forces, superior on land, superior at sea, the Navy, superior in Air Force, superior in space. Where does that leave Africa? Africans are here, dance mpaka chini. Yes, you dance if you want, but please, look at your future. Where is your future? How will you be safe? How will you be safe? in the world. Huh? So that's why you can bring my tablet. Can you bring my picture? Nikuli. I'm lucky to see this Gen Z Vanange. Let me see me Vanange. Let me fana inchange. Bring my picture. Abakuru bano bona bali wano ngenda kufuna omukisa mbalage tetubaddeko. So why we was talking of the East African for economic prosperity, it must be economic integration in East Africa and the whole of Africa, a common market of Africa. We need a common market of Africa. We have started and we have got what we call CFTA, the Continental Free Trade Area, so that we can trade, the market is there. Ate wewunya ab'Africa bano n'abantu abalala obewunya. The Chinese are 1.5 billion inside China. But you find the Chinese dying for more markets. Bali n'abantu akawumbikamu obukadde bikumi bina mu China. Naye ate balwanira n'akatale akafe ak'abantu miliyoni 5. Somebody with 1.4 billion people is still hungry for more market. You, of a small number, you are not even bothered. Uliao, dance back at chin, dance back at chin. Are you not an endangered species? Why don't you see that? Why would the China get worried? Yet he has already got 1.4 billion people inside Abamugurako. Nange mwongereko sente mukasawo kuba musawo yange mwongereko. You are not bothered, you are just here. So that is for economic prosperity, but there is a strategic security. Because with the economic integration of East Africa, of the common market of Africa, we shall deal with the economy. Businessmen will have a market where to sell, and they would invest more. And if they invest more, they create jobs, the jobs we are talking about. Because if I'm a businessman, I sell more, I expand, I create more jobs. But that one does not address the issue of army. Because common market doesn't involve army. Defense. We need an African political unit that can guarantee the defense of the black race. That's why we have been talking for the last 60 years of the East African Federation. East Africa would have the capacity to go to the moon and check on what those fellows are doing there. The moon is a common property. Mukora chiwano kumwezi. Na Africa tuli wano tuli dance mpaka chini. People on the moon, they are looking at us like babite ebinyomo, these insects which eat sugar. The insects, emunyo byetu ky'omuluganda. Waliwo ebiwuka ebirya sukali. Ebinyomo. Tuli wano ng'ebinyomo batulengala bulengezi. Oyinza kuleeta dumu n'ofuuyira nebifa byonna n'okutegeera tibitegeedde ani abisse. So this is very dangerous. Naye kambaleetere ekifaananyi kyange. You can continue, Natasha. They bring my.
Okay. Our next question will be for your responses, Mzee, always very enlightening, always. I pray that they stick with us. The next question is from Hassan Chikomeko.
I want to first wish a happy new year. Your
Happy New Year
Excellency.
to Hassan who?
Chikomeko.
Chikomeko.
Hassan Chikomeko, Kana Kambata. I work with Fly Express, led by Chairman Peter Kagwa, and I'm your neighbor in Entebbe. I've been the youth chairperson of Entebbe Municipality.
Okay.
Allow me mzee, mfukamire nkwebaze kuba oli jjajja. Thank you for the peace. I'm one of the youth who appreciate what we have in Uganda. Weebale nnyo, nsaba Mukama akutukuumire nti akaseera ne we kalibuse ng'ovuddeko olisigala okyawabula Uganda in terms of security and peace. Tulya, tunywa, tutambula, byonna tubikola. Thank you very much. I want also to thank Madame Masera. If it wasn't her, I wouldn't have been here for recognizing me. My question is, Your Excellency, having led Uganda for decades and having witnessed different generations, as Uganda prepares the next generation of leadership, what structures are you putting in place to ensure young Ugandans transition from dependency to productivity, especially in employment, skills development, and access to capital? Thank you, Your Excellency.
No, it is what we have already talked about. For the capital, we have all these funds which we started, PDM, all those funds, they are there. For the beginners, for the richer ones, there is UDB. We have put quite a lot of money in UDB. And we're going to keep adding on. Now, for the market, that's what we anticipated. That's why we negotiated with East Africa to have a common market. For infrastructure, you see what we have been doing. Electricity, the roads, now the railway. But now also to mindset change. That's why we are talking of the new syllabus in the schools, the skilling hubs, like you saw those young people there talking. So we are working on every side, software and hardware both. We are working on both for you to succeed. Software including attitude.
Thank you, Mzee. Thank you. Next question is from Marcela Kareche.
Mzee, you've already touched on Pan-Africanism, citing strategic security as a major reason. And you kind of preempted this question, but please repeat your wisdom. What lessons can we learn from America's actions in Venezuela, for example, recently?
Well, the thing you can learn is that Venezuela, fighting for, I'm still watching, studying it, because the Americans are saying that this was the Uganda August of June 1963. I remember I was at Ntare in the school. They hung these people on the notes board. And I was so happy because we had Kenyatta, Obote, Mwalimu saying now they are going to cause East Africa to build East African Federation that year, 1963. Wadri, come and take it and take it around. Wadri, come. Muleke. Mawadri. Okay, now you take it around. Go from here, this side. You keep it. It's your gift. So, I don't know what they are quarreling about. The Americans are saying that some of the Latin Americans are sending drugs to the U.S. But whatever the case, we shall find out. We shall learn more. But whatever the case is, you can see the gaps, which I'm telling you about. Because the Americans are operating from 4 dimensions. They're operating from sea, they're in the sea. The Latin Americans are not there. They don't have a navy. Then they can come with air force, and then space. They're in space. Now they are trying to come on land, which of course is very risky also for the Americans. There you come near, because even me, who has got a short range, I can harm you. But there you are at an advantage. You are seeing me in space. I'm not seeing you. You are in the ocean. I'm not there. I'm here. So this is what we are talking about. That the Africans, because of that was our target in 1963. And Mwalimu was going to move, but Kenyatta and Obote decided to remain big fishes in smaller ponds. Some people like that. When you're a big fish in a smaller pond, you feel very, very big. But when trouble comes, you may not survive. So, the issue of the strategic security of Africa is very crucial. East African Federation, I'm glad the East African leaders have never given up. Even when we were last in Arusha, they appointed me as an advocate for the Federation, so that we are able to unite our land space, unite our sea space, have more resources to be able to build capacity in the 4 dimensions: on land, at sea, in the air, and in the space. Good space. What's good space? We can't remain here when other people are in space and you think we are clever. Dancing and watching European football clubs. It's very, very risky for you people. So you should wake up and wake up the young. Yes, the young generation should have pleasure, but also they must have security, a secure future. And they have all the potential, because like East Africa is very strong. Because we can use Swahili. They are the same groups. You have Kenyans like Nyangweso, that Nyangweso is a Kenyan, is here. All those Samias are from Kenya. Then we have Congolese. All sorts of, so East Africa is a very powerful unit for the black race. Yes, you can have smaller countries in the world, like Denmark, but they all have a center of gravity. When they're in trouble, there's a big boy like the US to defend them. Now the African race have no center of gravity. And you are here just dancing in Pakachini, dancing in Pakachini. Very risky very risky. I was young like you. I would also dance, swing girls like this. But I would also remember to fight. Fight, study, fight, work, and dance once in a while. But the problem is that you are now dancing all the time. Thank you very much.
Our next question is from Sean Ibrahim.
Jazz with Jaja. Thank you, Mr. President, for the peace. I want to thank you in 2 dimensions. Being a very good peacemaker, you've made Uganda ekifo buli omu kyasobola okuba nga yeeyagaliramu ng'akola emirimu. Nange nasobola ofuna omwoga ogwa TikTok kwenkolera emirimu nga promoting Uganda positively. And another thing, I want to thank you for being a good father. Look at Natasha, Precious Kamwine, my cousin. If it wasn't them, I wouldn't have been here. It is such a very big recognition for us who always fight for the government online. My question is, what motivates you to be the person you are? We've seen you on several occasions, you're doing the press-ups. Even recently, yesterday, I saw you standing in the rain without moving. Like, what motivates you to do all that at that age? And another thing, Mr. President, I'm 30 years, but I always pray for you. I no longer pray for myself. I pray for you. You live longer and longer. At least on my age, at least they subtract some age to give to you so that you can keep this country intact. Because at least maybe my purpose will not be very much, but your presence, over 40 million people are relying on you. They are there dancing, they are there fishing, farming, and all those things. My question is, what motivates you to be the person you are? My name is Sean Ibrahim.
Now, what motivates me is because I love myself. I love myself as a person of the Cow clan, Owente, as a Munyankole Mhororo, as a Ugandan, as an African. I'm very, 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 I love you people. Now I have children. All of you are my children and grandchildren. And we could see from the 60s when we started following, we could see that if we didn't do this or that, we could be in danger. Could be in danger. The world is not kind. If you are weak, you can disappear. And I don't want my race, my African people to disappear or to become slaves. Because when you hear America, the people whom you call Americans now are Europeans who went and took the land of the Indians. Because the Indians were stupid, they were not organized. And the Europeans had already tried to take our land. Those who came to South Africa, they are taking the land. In South Africa, in Zimbabwe, even here in Kenya, in the 1950s, we were learning of something they were calling the White Highlands. Part of Kenya was regarded as White Highlands. That's what they were teaching us. But what happened at that time, there were changes in the world which favored us. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. Our stupid chiefs had failed to defend us because they were fighting among themselves. So the whole of Africa had been colonized. But what happened was that in 1912, the Africans in South Africa formed the first resistance movement, the ANC. They formed modern people now. Actually, it started in the US, the black people there. Some of them started Pan-Africanism. There was a man called Marcus Garvey, another one called something else, I've forgotten their name, W.B. Du Bois. They started talking about African freedom, African freedom. When the whole of Africa had been colonized, except for Ethiopia. So in 1912, the Africans formed the ANC to resist. Then in 1917, we had good luck. Russia was taken over by communists. These were people who had a different idea. They didn't agree with imperialism. The communists, they took over Russia. So they started working with our anti-colonial fighters. And then also, African witchcraft worked. Because the Europeans, because of their greed, started fighting among themselves. The First World War. Our African magic worked. They started fighting among themselves. The Germans and the British and all that group. And they mobilized our grandparents to go and fight for them. So our grandparents went and saw, oh, okay, this is how you fight with modern arms. So by the time they ended this First World War, their quarrels didn't end. Then they started the Second World War. That was even worse for them. By that time, they were so weak that countries like India had to get independence. Because they were not only colonizing us, they were colonizing also Asia. Asia, India, Indonesia, Vietnam, all those were colonies. So by the end of the Second World War, they were so weak, they couldn't keep it. Indonesia, Vietnam, and Africa was also on the way. Now, then 1949, China was taken over by communists. So the anti-imperialist bloc was very, very big and powerful. That's how they had to give up, give independence. But otherwise, really what they wanted was to do like what happened in America, where the indigenous people either disappear completely or survive as second class. So that's why this is what I cannot accept. You can see these wonderful people, my children, my grandchildren, you people. I want you to be free people. So I can't compromise on that. And because of that, we started fighting with our own fools here, who are wasting our time. I mean, what? Toka. You don't know what you are doing, and that he wants to be our president, Idi Amin. But you don't know what you are doing. And we are in war. We are in a war with serious people. Then you come here as a joker to waste our time. Get out. Toka. So, that's really the motivation. Freedom for the black race. Freedom for the black race. Insurance. Freedom and insurance of freedom for the black race. Now, about stamina and so on, this is partly also because of the lucky, because my family, because the African people are very strong. The problem are the ones who are really wasting our time. The rurals are the ones who waste our time. But otherwise, Africans are very strong, especially in this area here. You can read what Stanley wrote. Those are explorers who came here, Huntington Speke, Stanley, they wrote, said, these Africans, these fellows are advanced, who are advanced. Agriculture, bananas, cows. The problem were just our rulers who were always fighting one another, full of themselves, king, what. Then they divide us. But otherwise, the communities are very strong. Now, the luck I had was that my family never got involved so much in the colonial system, was never involved in the colonial system. My great-grandfather was alive when the Europeans came. He died, I think, around 1915. He never joined the church. He kept with his cows. He didn't join the colonial system. He didn't join the church. He died in 1915. Then my grandfathers were there. They were rich traditional people. They never went into the churches. They never joined the colonial system. They remained with the cows. They died, I think the last died around 1943 there. It was Kaguta who was the first person to go into the church. And by that time I was there myself also, so I went with him as a junior member, and we joined the church in 1947. But even when we joined, we remained traditional. See, traditional people are very strong. They are not very strong. stamina, looking after cows, what. So things you find, even when I was joined the army, what they were doing in the army was much weaker than my lifestyle. As cattle keeper, you were very, very tough. So just luck, because I think if I had joined the chapati eating, it may have been different. But I'm an original Munyankore who knows English and has studied the world. This is the advantage really about the stamina. My uncles have just died. They were 4 years. Kaguta died when he was 97. But for most of the time, he was looking after the cows. Even in the 90s, he would go and these children were seeing him. He was looking after the cows. So it is that tradition. If you can imagine a Karamojong, if he doesn't become disoriented, he is a very strong person. That lifestyle there is gives you stamina. So the culture I had a discussion with the Nabagereka, and she was trying to talk about the culture. She said, yes, we can audit it. We can audit the culture and see some of the practices which are out of date and remove them, but keep the others which are very strong. So I think it is that combination, the motivation to make sure that you don't become slaves, we don't become slaves, and then secondly, the stamina is from the historical accident of a traditional man arriving in the city. Because they had never seen traditional people. They had people who had become like westernized. I'm not westernized. I'm an original Munyankore who just arrived in the... when I came to Mbarara, 1959 for junior secondary, that was my first time to go from the village to the town. And see rice, all this. And for us, we didn't like those things. Rice, we were giving it a bad name. We were stuck with our things. Even now I eat my mhogo. I don't eat rice. So that is the...
And for us, the chapati eaters, what is our hope?
Katonda jari. But remember that millet is there. You can come back to millet, you can come back. Because me, I eat millet. They know. I eat millet, I eat muhogo. I eat our food. I don't eat European foods.
You inspire all of us, Jose. We're almost coming to the end, and if you do have time, I can ask like 3 more people to just add on. But for now, we have just 4 questions left. One from Mr. Nyangweso, one from Musa Sekamanya, one from the head of the PPU, Sanda Walusimbi, and I wanted to ask something about the PDM if we have time. But let's first hear from.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year, Your Excellency. My name is Timothy Nyangweso. I work with UBC. My question is something you've hinted on, education and human resource of the country. I was reading the Uganda Education Statistics Abstract Report of 2010. It shows the numbers grew to 8 million plus who are enrolled in primary school. Secondary school, it goes to 1.1 million. Then tertiary, it goes to 174,000 people. The question that I'm asking, Your Excellency, you have solved the quantity problem, number of children getting to school. The biggest question now is on quality. What do you envision as quality human resource over Uganda?
Even the quantity is not fully solved. Because as you say, there are 8 million in the primary school, which is 7 years. Then you go to the secondary school, you find only 1 million. What has happened to the 7 million? And the secondary school system is 6 years, almost up to A level. So that means there's a big number of school dropouts. So even that one is not fully addressed because the local elite, because of their not seeing far, have not implemented UPE properly. They still bring back charges which chase children from the school. That's how you have the difference between the 8 million plus versus the 1 million. That means a big number have dropped out, which is what we are going to resolve in the coming Bisanja, because in the government schools, I would like to get completely free education. Like I'm giving in the skilling hubs, the one they were showing you here. Children study free. Now on the issue of the quality, the quality, some elements of it are good. For instance, science education in medicine, in engineering, in sciences, good, it's good. You get very good scientists. But the problem was in the big numbers of social sciences. Because of the culture of administration, people wanted to be administrators, to be office workers. But that one we are addressing in the new curriculum by really going to the yoga, to the skills in the educational system. So it will be handled. Some of the quality is good because of the intellectual side, science, intellectuality is very good, some of it. But globally, the emphasis on social sciences created a lot of people who are not fitted for the job market, for the economy. Graduates, children who have finished university but cannot get jobs. So we are handling both. We shall handle both the quantitative, which is not fully implemented, and also the qualitative, by emphasizing skills. You can be a social scientist, but do farming, that's a skill. Do farming, do something which is needed in the job market.
It was Mr. Nyangweso, and then I think I have Musa.
Webale nnyo Natasha. Mzee bampita Shafik Mukulu, Chairman Ghetto is Yellow.
Okay.
Bampita Shafik Mukulu, Chairman Ghetto is Yellow. Mzee nze ngenda kwogera ku bintu bya ghetto. Ngoberedde nnyo campaign zo zogera nnyo ku PDM. Naye ku PDM wetuba twogetu oli mu kujja Kampala mu campaign. Kampala ejjudde abapangisa. Tuli bapangisa, waliwo abaana bakulidde ku street. PDM eri all about agriculture. Agriculture eyetaaga ettaka, eyetaaga space. Otegekedde ki abaana b'e Kampala nga ffe aba ghetto?
Ab'e Kampala, nabategekera dda bw'ogenda waliwo eri munda oyise Kasangati waliwo abantu ba workshops benatandika nabo. What do they call those villages beyond after Kasangati?
Gayaza.
Migera? Mi what? I've got a lot of groups which have support. Na groups nyingi zempagide is workshops. Like here there was a group here in Serbia of furniture. Nabawagira. I supported groups in is it Nigeria? Nigeria. There's a girl there called Yoweri. You can go and check on her. We supported their group. So we can support artisanship in the town. Artisanship, services of welders, border borders. Border borders is urban. Border borders. You can see them there. Chigo. Let me come back. Just 1 minute. You can see them there.
Hello. In the meantime, we can continue with our introductions. I think we stopped that side. Sir, introductions. Quick introductions before Mzee.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year. My name is Emmanuel Rumala Dombo, Director of Information at the NRM Secretariat.
Yes, all right. Happy New Year. God is good. Twebaza nnyo Katonda olwa kino kyatutuusizaako. Amanya gange nze Jennifer Fulfiga, ndi President's Advisor wa Natasha. My sister, I want a new photo with you. Ntandike nakyo guno omwaka. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Arinda, aka Madam CEO, Madam Kofi. I'm a Muzukulu.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Robert Sharp Mugabe. I work with Government Citizen Interaction Center as the Deputy Director.
Mugamba mutya basebo ne banyabo amanya Bukenya Media oba Bukenya Nelson oba Bukenya Media.
Basebo ne banyabo mjebaleko amanya gange bampita Ronald Muhwana, CEO PL on TV.
seba mujabaleko nebanyawo mujabaleko amanya gange nze Nakyanzi Sumaya aka Maya nga ku social media nkozesa Narem Warrior. Thank you.
Balamusiza basebo ne banyabo amanya nze Zakia Lucky nkola ne UBC everything to do with tourism era nkola ne Miss Tourism Uganda and a stylist at Zack Styles.
Good afternoon. My name is Maureen Babidia. I'm a news anchor with UBC Television.
Happy New Year. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Steve Washington. I come from 100.2 Galaxy FM Zina and Galaxy TV Gikonkoni.
Good afternoon. My name is Sky Soldier representing to the world. I'm the CEO of Sky Soldier Media, everywhere you go.
Good afternoon. My name is Jisui David, Good Times Media.
Good afternoon. My name is Muinda Innocent, CEO, Innomite Media.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year. My name is Rachel Namsoke, CEO, Lumpe Media UG.
We will continue later. Mzee is coming back. Thank you.
So we are very, very conscious tukimanyi nti omutawuni ebitundu ebimu bya tawuni muyinza kukola gye tuyita peri-urban agriculture ebiri balibali eyo nga Kazo, Nansana, oyinza kulunda enkoko, emanju, naye mu tawuni wakati waliwo ebyobugaga ebikwatagana bulungi ne tawuni. Artisanship, carpentry, metalwork, shoemaking, knitting and weaving. We have been skilling many youth in Kampala here. She has been skilling. They are there. They were showing some here. Can you show them those activities on the TV? Then services, border, bakery, all those for the town. That's what we emphasize. Tuchimanyi, I know it. I will not be talking about PDM in Kawempe because it's not so much applicable as it is in the rural areas. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Mzee. We're almost coming to the end. We have a question from Mr. Sandawa Lusimbi. Then we have a response to Kasuku Katende's question. I think someone wants to respond to him after Sanda. Moses Biarhanga will respond, and then if you allow, we can have 2 more questions depending on your time.
Okay. Thank you, Natasha. I'll just quickly go back and tell Mr. Simon those chapels of Bugolobi we should stop. Now, Your Excellency, as the world shifts towards multipolar power centers and rapid technological change, like AI comes to mind, digital trade automation, cryptocurrency, etc. My question is, what strategies will ensure that Uganda is not left behind? And how can Uganda leverage global diversity in wealth creation? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Uganda, what is crucial is African integration. If that one is happening, then there's nothing else that the rest will be easier. That's why our emphasis on the East Africa, so that East Africa operates as a common market, but even better as a political federation. But in the short run, at least as a common market. And we are moving well on that. If we have that, and then we have the rest of Africa as a market, where crucial area of operation. The rest is additional. Then, okay. Now, about the Martupola, that's all right, because hegemony doesn't work. Hegemony is people trying to control the world. It's very dangerous for you to try that. That's how Austria-Hungary collapsed. Because Austria-Hungary was, first of all, Rome. You remember Rome, the Pope? The Pope was trying to control the whole world. Christians, so he wanted to control all of them. So much so that when Henry VIII wanted to marry another woman, then the Pope made it his business to. That's how problems started. England broke with the Rome, and the wars. The Spanish Armada, 1588, when they tried to invade England. A lot of unnecessary trouble, but if you try to, it's better to work with people rather. After the Pope failed to dominate the Christian world, after so many wars, it caused a lot of wars. Then, when capitalism came, the French Revolution, 1789, there was a man called Metternich in Austria-Hungary. He was the chancellor who tried to exterminate capitalism, tried to invade France, and it ended up destroying the whole of the empire of Austria-Hungary. So, Martupola is unstoppable. Can't stop it. Don't even try. It's good. What they should aim at is win-win. Because I've been telling some people, why do you want, because like now, you're wonderful Africa. I don't know whether you have those computers which you go with, you don't work, you sleep. Me, I don't have any computer with me. Just keep them far away from them. But for you, always with them. Stops you from thinking. But you can check. Your wonderful Africa, the GDP, I think now is like 3 trillion. The whole of Africa. Do you have your phone? You check now. The GDP of Africa. Me who doesn't go with phones, I have it in my head. I think it's about 3-point-something trillion.
3.1 trillion.
Imagine the whole of Africa. Obugagabo Africa yonna is 3.1 trillion. All the dancers in Pakachini, all the. Now you check the GDP of United States. I think it's about 30 trillion. 30. States.
31 trillion.
30.3. 30.6.
31 trillion.
About 31 trillion. So you imagine, people, United States is a quarter of Africa. Africa is 12 million square miles. United States is 3 million square miles. You can fit USA into Africa 4 times. It will fit there. We are 1.5 billion now. United States is 300 million. So, for them to have so much money when we are so much wealth, and what I've been telling these friends, of course, the problem is first of all us, you people, the influencers. Because the influencers, Bakatende, they're influencing people in the wrong direction. Instead of orienting them in the right direction of value addition, because the biggest problem of Africa is producing raw materials. Losing value, hemorrhage, narituma ekigambo erinya ekikulukuto. Ekikulukuto, you remember I used that when I was with the other Gen Z. You must stop the ekikulukuto. The hemorrhage, this is a sickness among women sometimes. Banyangwele call it ekyerwiso. Nebanga abantu abagana bakiyita ekikulukuto. This ekikulukuto of Africa must stop. Losing money, losing jobs. And it is that which creates this poverty. So I have been asking to answer your question of multipolar what? I've been asking my Western partners, you people, why do you want to trade with poor people? Why would you not see that it is in your advantage? Now Africa, if Africa was like, because if you take the GDP of US, which is 30 trillion, for 300 million people, that means that each person has got like $60,000 or what per capita would be what for the US? Maybe about what?
$60,000?
Yes, about $50,000. Now, if Africans, 1.5 billion of them, if they were not necessarily 50, even if they were like 30,000, what will be the GDP of Africa? 30,000 times 1.5 billion. Like 45 trillion?
50 trillion. 450 trillion. 1.5 billion times.
No.
It's 45 trillion, Your Excellency.
45 trillion. Yes. That should be at least if we were there. Would it not be, wouldn't America do better business with us if we had money in our pockets? They could sell us more planes, they could sell us more this, more that. So why would you want, if you are a clever, I can see that some of these Western thinkers are also not good planners. Because Africans are friendly to Europe. We speak English. I don't speak Chinese. I don't speak Russian. I speak English. I am a man of Shakespeare. So why don't you take advantage of me and you do business with me? But in order for you to do business with me, I should have money in my pocket. So if you come here and you want to take because now when they take unprocessed gold, which is 84 pure, they give like $60,000 per kilogram. When it is processed to 99.9%, like the one in Busia there, it goes for $120,000. So in a kilo, we would be losing like $50,000 per kilo of gold if you sell it unprocessed, unprocessed. If you process it, you use more electricity, local, you create jobs, you get more money. And in that way, I can buy more from the US. That's what I'm telling them. You people, wake up. Don't want to maintain poverty in Africa. This 3 trillion is a shame. And you have got all these influencers. What are they influencing the banana? Katende. Influencers bano banange. Abantu mbalagawa. Africa must have a GDP, because very soon, in the next 30 years, we shall be 2.5 trillion, 2.5 billion. We shall be a quarter of the human race, but disorganized. So that's why I want you to be organized. The bali benasinkana lwakitula Gen Z waliwo omuzukulu wange
Sandra is here actually. She has
Sandra?
She's here. She has a testimony.
Oh, amatoke gaffe gatuusewa.
What omuzinda alinda?
Happy New Year, Mr. President.
Happy New Year, Sandra.
How are you?
Very fine.
Thank you so much. Bana kansoke nkwebaza Mr. President kanfukamire nako. Fukamire wano bondaba.
Abanyangole tebafukamira. Bafukamira
Tebafukamira.
Bafukamira Katonda yekka.
Anze kanfukamire ne yanziza nnyo amatoke gatuuka. Bampa bunches 5 naye ngatunda naye kakati capital tene era still nagana okuwera kati nengera mu company yange ya ushering agency gye nnina kuba nina abaana balingana be-employinga kati mwe nayongera nagajamu 25 gyokka
5 bunches.
Yes.
Ngenda kukongereyo some more bunches.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
Osibuka wa?
Nsibuka Matugga Katalemwa.
Wano ewaffe?
Awo nyini, Bombo Road.
Otwalwa nlawo?
Awo nyini. Yes, Mr.
Wali tolabanga ku matooke. Tewere matooke eyo?
Tetulinayo gonna twagatema.
Kyafuuka kibuga kati?
Kati tewakyali, ninda gago opozi. Tewakyali matooke, ngenda kulinda gago.
Very good. Sandra nokumwongera bunches nga 10 ndowooza mwe nga 10. Zigenda kwengera.
Nazo tujjazi oba tugenda kuteesa Mr. President ekyokukola ekituufu.
Kale Sandra. Now, the reason how I linked up with Sandra, she was Como Sandra. Sandra was pleading for imports. Nti otuse noteekako omusolo ku nviiri z'abafu eziva bweru nti wandirese enviiri z'amafu neziyingira bwereere. Nemugamba nti nedda muzukulu. Enviiri z'abafu zirina okuweereza omusolo. Ze mujja bweru. Bwe mba mwagala enviiri eza wano mukozese wano tewali bafu wano mbajje kwe oba mukozesa ebyayi muleke kuleeta enviiri z'abafu z'ebweru. Kaweke kati zino za Kaluzosa, Karufua, za Karufua eziva bweru zirina okuweereza emisolo. Kati kwe kumugamba muzukulu ne mugamba nti bw'oba toyagala kuweereza omusolo, genda ntungamu ewaffe, ogule amatooke, ogaleete Kampala. Awo tekuli musolo gwonna. Internal distribution. Because they talk of taxes. Yes, we are taxing, but taxing imports. Not only imports, but luxury ones. We don't even tax medicine. We don't even tax machinery. We tax luxury items. So that's how I linked up with Narijagala Ingiremu business, internal distribution. Amatoke, okugaja ntunga munagalete eno, ebikaru, oricho baite ebikaru. Ebikaru kubigula kibuga eyo nobilete eno mbende, produce. So you see you got some money from the bananas. Very good.
Your Excellency, to add on what Kasuku asked the question about digital, your government has done a lot. For instance, Mr. Kasuku was talking about digital employing the youth. Under business processing operations, BPOs, today 25,000 youth in Uganda are engaged in BPOs, working for companies outside Uganda while they are here in Uganda. And one of the enablers to that, and we are targeting 150,000 in the next Kisanja for 25,000. What has also enabled that is the cost of internet has gone down from $70 per unit in 2018 to now 35. We are now reducing the cost of internet, and also the speed of internet has significantly improved from second generation, which is 2G. Now we are at 5G. So that's why we are able to do this TikToking at a faster speed as if it was in Europe. Lastly, Your Excellency, waliwo abuuziza wano ku kyaba Gen Z. Ekisooka, sorry, ghetto youth. Ekisooka, Your Excellency, ng'oyita mu office yo ya State House Controller, wateekawo saako ez'aba youth. Buli division mu Kampala, wasooka na milioni 10,000. Kati oyongeddemu biliyoni emu bagenda kuzifuna mu biseera kyali byawala buli division. Kati kyetwetaaga ku bayuth bano, training them into skills. Babeeko kyebakola kyebasobola okwekolera, naye nga balina kasente basobola okujja saako bajjeyo mu banka yaabwe, beewole ku magoba ga wansi ennyo, basobole okukola business. Ate Your Excellency also, office yo eri mu kuzimba workshop Mulago wane Kawempe. Erimu common user facilities ng'abakola engatto, abakola bags, ensawo, oli aleeta buleesi leather material n'agenda wali byuma byonna weebiri baabiguze mu ebiri, control yamaze okubigula mu ebiri mu workshop eyo ebisobola okukozesebwa. Abaagala okukola ebitabo, tulina section y'ebitabo, tulina ey'engatto, tulina ey'ensawo, tulina abakola amasweta knitting, ebyuma ebikola goleeta wuuzi ne bakutungira wali n'ofuluma n'esweta zo, basobola okukola esweta nga 10 buli lunaku nga ez'enjawulo, kala ez'enjawulo okusinziira ky'oyagala n'ebirala. Pulezidenti yatunulira omuntu wa bulijjo, yatuma wano ttiimu yaffe n'agamba waliwo abantu bano ab'endaba abatunda amenvu ku nguudo mu bibbo. Pulezidenti n'atutumayo ne tubasinkana, n'abolezayo ka kapito emitwalo 10,000 buli omu. N'atuma waliwo mumanya abatoninyira mukange abatunda emmere eyidde ekiro, bantu nga 1,000 mu Kampala. Pulezidenti bonna yabatuukamu n'abaweerezaayo kapito 10,000 buli omu, 10,000 buli omu, ab'ebigaali 10,000 buli omu. Kati ofiisi ya controller era etuuse mu ba boda ebateereddewo looni ey'essente za wansi mu saako zaabwe. Kati ne boda ne ku PDM yennyini, kituufu PDM erina okwakuliza bwe tugenda okujjamu for urban areas, twabanze okubitegeera, tugenda kubujjamu bo basobole okukola ebyenjawulo ebitali bya agriculture. Ate sente mu Kampala abakafuna mu PDM bali 3,000, amaka 3,000. ne Wakiso $5,000 naye zino wa Kampala ne Wakiso kati mu kisanja ekijja kubanga tugenda kuwangula sente tugenda kuzongeza zive ku milioni 10 buli mwezi officially buli mwaka zibire milioni 3 buli mwaka naye ate kwezi ebisatu 30% z'abavuuka kiba kitegeeza milioni 9 zijja kubeera z'abavuuka ate abavuuka bazifuna batya ku kakiiko ka saako y'omuluka chairperson wa youth council w'omuluka ogwo abeera memba kitegeeza ba chairperson bafe ababavuuka balina okulwanira ensonga z'abavuuka balabe mbu bwe tubeera abagenda gaba ssente ezo abavuuka bawera enamba yaabwe 30% zigenda ku bavuuka. Webale nnyo excellence.
Thank you so much for that.
Two last questions you wanted.
No, I think I will leave mine for today. I will ask Katende, who had the influencer you have kept referring to, Kasuku, to say something on behalf of all of us who are here, to thank Mzee for the time that he has given.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. For starters, it's what these suits. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you for the time you've given us to come here and have a chat with you. I know you have a very busy schedule, but you've taken time off to allow us to come here and have a few words with you. I'm a digital content creator, and yeah, you've said certain things about the internet and how it works, but I still feel if you allow, through Natasha, we want to engage you more with the digital content creators to make you understand our job. There are so many people who are employed through digital content creation. Maybe we can see how we try to explain to you what our job entails. How do we harmonize to bring it into most of the ideas you have about taking this country forward? Because most of the youth we are trying to talk to, the youth the government says right now are the biggest population, they are dealing with digital and digital content creation. And we really need the government to come and we work together to harmonize with us, to enhance with us, to support us in all the ways possible as to be part of the government's programs going forward. So I don't know if you could allow us, we get some time.
You make proposals. You make proposals and bring them to Natasha.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Finally, as before I give a vote of thanks, they always tell us when you go to visit your jaja, they pack for you things, matoke, sweet potatoes and what. So the people told me as I came, they told me, don't forget to tell Jaja that we are here. He should pack for us some things, give you, and you bring, we enjoy. As the judge, I said, well, Luseke moving, Luseke coming. Said yes. So as a judge, I'll be waiting. You load me with the things for the bazukulu out there, and we go. I know you don't like dancing a lot, but man, we want to have a good time. So yes, we want to go out there. And we enjoy ourselves here and there after we've seen our Jaja. Other than that, thank you very much for your time. And we hope you give us more of these engagements. May not be us necessarily all the time, but to those other people. Because now we feel we are closer to you. I had never seen you one-on-one real time. So I used to say, hey, because growing up they told us, Museveni fuka kapa na abulawo. So now I'm looking at the man, I'm like, wow. The guy is here. So it's a pleasure, and thank you, Natasha, for picking me out to represent all the other YouTubers out there. And I hope, like the president has asked, we are going to engage more with you, and you help us push the agenda. Mr. President, we are not bad people. We are only trying to do our jobs, to feed our families, and to see that we get better. So if we get into good books with you, I don't know who's told you people are misusing the internet, but well, those who are misusing it are few, and you can always cap them out. But biggest part of us, we are really doing well on the internet. So thank you very much for your time, and we hope to see you again. Thank you.
Okay, regarding Okurongora is when people come, the way you reward, you give them gifts. I don't want to go to prison because I'm a candidate. So if I Kurongora people, I'll be arrested for bribing. So I think we shall have to wait after the election, then we sort out issues. Do you have a lawyer here? An NRM lawyer? Huh? But Dombo knows, she's from the secret. What is the policy on gifts?
Hello.
Your Excellency, there are certain activities accepted within the framework of the campaigns. For instance, the people who have come here have spent transport in truck in coming here.
That one I can refund.
Now for the other gifts, they would be best suited, Your Excellency, if it can be arranged after the elections and they come to congratulate you, then it would be a better time for it to happen. But the most important thing now is that they came from somewhere, they must go back and they spend on the way when they are coming. If you could, as you wish, and facilitate them to go back.
That one I will happily do. 1 million, 1 million.
That will be pleasant. Thank you very much.
That one I would happily do. I would even have done more, but now, Sagara Gana Mukomera. Okay.
Thank you, Mzee, so much for. Thank you, Mzee. Yes. Thank you, Mzee, for the time you have given us. And I trust that we will come back together. I hope you'll give us a chance to come as we are and on a bigger group. Like you have said, we can come and, is it called Kujaguza, and like celebrate with you, God willing, after the elections. We come as we are, and then the Vazukulu and Kasuku and all these influencers we can get gifts and do all sorts of other fun activities, but after the elections.
So then we can have a group photograph there?
Yes.
They can organize some chairs there and then others stand?
Yes.
The people you organize.
Thank you so much. We want to thank you so much for the time. Jaja, for giving us wisdom, and we thank you so much.
How many are they? So somebody organize them?